Smart. Yeah. Bam, we're live. Welcome, Chase. Welcome, Mr. Young.
Yes.
Welcome.
Happy Friday.
I don't see Caleb. I know he's going to be joining us soon. I don't see Danielle Brandon. I know she's going to be joining us soon. I know you guys were wondering whether she's actually going to show. It would fuck with the continuity of the show if she did not. If she did show, but we're always open to some change in the plans. I do want to make a quick announcement. I guess I should have my notes up. There is. Sorry, Caleb. I started without you.
You're good.
Apologize. There is this working with large bodies coaching development seminar at Diablo CrossFit in Pleasant Hill, California. It's right just outside of San Francisco. Mission to improve the lives of athletes living with obesity by empowering their coaches through the education and advocacy. This is put on by a dear friend of mine named Athena Perez. She's been a guest on the show, a good show. She tore me up a little bit. Approved CEU provider CrossFit certifications. It's on September 30th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I have asked her, I called her today. First I text her, so not to ambush her, and I've asked her if I could come film this event with film all of the lectures and then interview the participants like I used to do for the level ones before, during, and after the event, all through. And basically, it's my way of getting an education on what's going on there. It's always been a mission of this podcast from the beginning to support the Greg Glasson's message that CrossFit has a cure for the world's most vexing problem, chronic disease, which is really has been changed to be called a bunch of other things: type 2 diabetes, obesity, cancer. So many of these things are just because people are addicted to refined carbohydrates and they're not moving. And so Athena has made it her goal. We'll have her on soon to promote this a little bit too, but in life, to make it so that people who are large-bodied feel extremely comfortable entering these CrossFit gyms on all the continents on this planet we call Earth. And she not only make them feel comfortable by speaking to them directly, but also by offering seminars to coaches so you know how to work with someone who might feel inhibitions about going to a CrossFit gym because of their size. And to be honest with you, that's like 50% of the fucking population in the United States now. So I love this. I've asked her if I could go there, film it. I'm going to completely film it to death, interview the people, ask them why they went there, what they're learning, and at the end, ask them, hey, are you glad you came? And I think we will get a lot of really serious and honest responses like John Young is not gay. Therefore, I'm pumped. I'll be continuing to. More than 15%, 50%. Okay, yeah. So this is a tremendous value. Anyway, so my thing is I'm going to be at this thing. So September 30th, 2023, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. just outside of San Francisco, Oakland. It's in the Bay Area. If I'm going to be at this one, if you want to sign up for this one, I'll also get to see you if you're a listener to this podcast. 42 days, 12 hours, 56 minutes, and 20 seconds until the seminar kicks off. But you'll be hearing me talk about this a lot and pump it up. I'm excited for there to be a good crew there so I can get some good content. And then I'll be giving her the hard drive so that she can use it to promote it in any way she wants with what I believe will be authentic, deep, honest conversations with the participants.
That's great.
Thank you. I'm pumped. I'm pumped about it. Caleb, hi.
Hey.
There's something I sent you in the notes that I didn't send you right. And I also didn't send you the links to the Coffee, Wads, and Pods podcast with Adrian. I gave you the time codes, which will also, I'm sure, be off. And then Ben Smith is coming on at 6:40. So we'll have Danielle Brandon for like 30 minutes. And then we will get Ben Smith. And then I presume that John Young and Chase and you will stay on for the entire show. So people will get you guys for the entire show.
You're welcome.
Is Adam Klink not coming on anymore?
Klink is running, I think, the race that...
He's running the same race that Rich rode.
100-mile
Leadville
run.
100.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he
That's
try
awesome.
that last year and just his body?
Couldn't do it.
Crazy rhabdo
Yeah.
last year.
Dang. He back at it again? That's awesome. Link's a stud, man.
Is he the biggest guy to? Would he be the biggest guy to complete that?
It's a
Do you have to
Probably.
qualify for that?
100-mile races. People don't do those unless they're.
Yeah.
100
People
pounds.
north of 200 pounds don't do
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's bigger than Hunter. I know Hunter might be the biggest that other than I can't think of anybody else.
I do, Wad Zombie, have a Ben Smith card. That's a great point.
Legendary Ben Smith card.
Yeah. Not even opened.
Oh.
Not even opened.
That's dope.
Ben Smith. That's cool.
His gym
Hey.
is right down the road from me, and I haven't been yet.
Oh, is
Really?
that close to you?
Yeah, I mean it's like 40 minutes, but
Oh, okay. That's not quite right down the road.
I mean here it's like next door.
Lucky Camera Straps, Australia, $14.99. Hey, everyone. We'll field one question before Danielle comes on. I'm sure she's racing to her computer. She's probably really stressed out now that she's a minute late. Hey, everyone. Any speculation on format changes for the more relocatable CrossFit games? More relocatable. I don't know what that means, but any speculation? Chase probably has too much information to speculate, right? You probably have insider information.
No, I don't have
Oh,
insider
okay.
information.
Okay. So with your outsider information, is there anything you want to say about a new location in terms of what it looks like, what it means?
Like it's where you are.
No, it's
I
I don't know,
think it has been spoken pretty loudly. Caleb ran into someone at the airport who told him
Yeah.
that it's going to be in Texas.
there's all that noise out there, but it was Birmingham, Alabama.
Sorry, Caleb.
right?
Sorry, Caleb. I didn't say who.
It was a done deal, Birmingham, and then it wasn't. So until it's announced officially, like who freaking knows? What should it be or could it be? I don't know. I know they'll make the right choice. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. They've done pretty good so far.
I am excited. I'm glad it's not in LA. I loved Madison. I hope it's in another what do you call Madison? A big small US city? What's the term for that?
Little big city?
Little big city, or big city, small town.
Yeah, I like
Even
I'll go
though
with little big
Madison's
city.
not a big city. Yeah, little big city. That's much
I mean,
better.
Fort Worth's bigger than Madison, isn't it?
Massive.
Yeah, I mean, because it's connected with Dallas. Essentially, they're the same.
Dallas Fort Worth are like one big
It's
city.
just right up the road.
What about San Antonio? What's San Antonio? What's San Antonio?
San
like?
Antonio is the sixth biggest city in the world,
San Antonio is huge.
or United
Yeah.
States. United States.
Yeah. But it's just spread out. I mean, it's not. I think there are. Who sent this to me today? Somebody sent this to me today. Oh, my buddy Drew sent this, and he says there are more people in the DFW area than 35 states in this country.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. Not combined.
There's
Just
more people. Isn't there more people in Houston though than the DFW area?
Maybe.
Because Houston's the fourth biggest.
Oh, Houston. Pass.
The show
San Antonio to Dallas is about 5 hours driving the speed limit,
is
and
live.
35 is not a shit show.
And the speed limit's 75 miles an hour in Texas.
Yeah, it's great.
Speed limit. Yeah. Nice.
But then you gotta. Do you take? I always take that toll road where it's 85.
No, I don't have money for that, Chase.
Oh man. Yeah. Once I started working for CrossFit, I was
Wait,
taking
that's
that toll
true?
road,
That's true.
Yeah.
Toll Road 85.
85. It's awesome.
There's an
'Cause it's still
85
Austin, Texas, which is I'm all for.
somewhere in West Texas. It's just 85 is the speed limit, like for everywhere. It's just one road.
Yeah.
It's 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I will say this. I do like the change of locations. A theme that we've heard from both Adrian and Dave repeatedly about new locations is that they do inspire new kinds of workouts.
Mhm.
They inspire them with their creativity. And something that Adrian said that I thought was way interesting he said a bunch of stuff. That podcast is great. And I like it when Pedro interviews people that I'm friends with because he asks questions that I probably wouldn't ask, that I would probably stay away from. And he asked Adrian a lot of good questions. But this one question he said to him was, Did you take Dave's job? No, we'll get to that one in a minute. That one is not one I would have asked him. Adrian says, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says if an event isn't making some sort of errors, you're not pushing hard enough when you put on the event. There needs to be an element of risk in all creative endeavors. And what's interesting is just earlier today, when I was watching some Sean O'Malley videos, Sean O'Malley basically said the same thing about fighting. He says the hardest thing basically about fighting is that to get better, you always have to be failing in practice. And I think I heard Serena Williams say that too, that practice is just all about losing so that you can win on game day.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexis Poppies says similar things. About
who's Alexis Poppies?
She was an Olympic runner. I cannot tell you specifically what event. I know it's distance, I think.
Danielle, be honest with me. Was it like 10 minutes ago you were like, oh, shit, I got a podcast to do? Or it was like 30 seconds ago you're like, oh, shit, I'm on a podcast that started already.
Honestly, I was texting. Or sorry, on FaceTime. Not texting. I was on a FaceTime. And I got caught up in a good conversation. So I am sorry about that.
No, I am actually concerned that you're here because it kind of breaks the continuity of...
I thought about it.
Good. Hey, did someone twist your arm? Was a friend of yours like, hey, just do it. Come on, be cool.
No.
No, okay. No one twist Danielle Brandon's arm. Hey, dude, congratulations. Another one down.
Another one down is right.
You pumped?
Huh?
You pumped? You invigorated? You charged? Like, people are always like, oh, are you recovering? I'm like, recovering? I got shot out of there like a cannon. I'm more excited than ever. But I didn't work out.
Yeah, like, I'm not necessarily pumped. I'm excited to make sure a lot of the things that happen don't happen again. But, I feel like that happens every year. But this year, I think more so than ever, like, there's some changes that need to be made that, like, I think I'm like ready to make.
You're going to HWPO?
No. No.
Not that big.
No.
Okay. What about that documentary crew that was following you? Can you tell me about that? Like, how that worked out? Did someone come up to you like at some point during the week or right before the game started and was like, hey, Danielle, there's a documentary crew here. Do you want to be part of it?
Yeah. Right before, I want to say check-in, actually, Dave introduced me to two women. I wish I could tell you their names, but, he was like, essentially, do you want to be a part of this documentary that we're doing? It's completely separate from CrossFit. Gave me a little bit of background on him, and he's like, they want to follow you throughout the weekend. And I was like, I would love to be a part of that. And so, they followed me around. He mentioned like they do know nothing about CrossFit, which was cool because you really got like a fresh perspective. What I hope they're going to portray is like have you watched any of the documentaries on Netflix about like, the tennis one, the golf, like how they do such a great job at explaining this sport that like you think a lot of people know about, but like I'm learning things about these sports that I had no clue about.
Sure.
I believe that like they'll do something very similar. It's cool that they'll explain CrossFit as if they're telling somebody who knows nothing about it at all. Like, which they really did. They asked so many questions, which they felt were really dumb, which like were kind of basic to me, but it'll help get the point across.
It wasn't a distraction in any way. You were happy to be a part of it.
No, they were so nice about it too. They're also people who I think could just like read my emotions. And if I was upset, like they weren't going to like immediately blast me. They were like, let me give her some time. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Listen.
They know.
He's got to be told by Matt to back off.
Listen.
Like, I think there's a time and place, right? Like I understand they're trying to tell this story. They want to get like that emotion. They were good at balancing it though.
By the way, do you know Chase? He's got the Dave Castro logo on.
I do know Chase.
And do you know John Young?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How the fuck does my finger work?
Hi, guys.
Over there.
Hi.
And you guys know
Glad you
Danielle.
made it.
I told you Danielle was coming on.
Yeah, I've seen Danielle before.
I don't think we've ever been on a podcast together, though.
I don't think so. It's the
I've
first
watched
time.
plenty with you in them, though.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Oh, you
Not
made him
because
turn.
it was only you.
You made
Yeah,
him
yeah.
turn red.
Well, Spin said she was going to win the games, and I was pretty down on that call. So that's it. That's why I turned red. But
Is that your favorite podcast? The one Brian Spin does, the one that chooses you to win the games?
Me?
Yeah,
Brian didn't choose me to win the games.
Brian
Brian
Spin.
Spin.
Who's that?
poor Spin. Oh, he loves
he in
you,
the-
Daniel.
I know
It's going to
he-
hurt his feelings so
Oh my
bad.
God, he's down and out. Let me see.
Oh, I feel bad, kind of.
Hey, you know what's crazy too is he's not like an emotional picker. He's like he's like a little
he's
bit.
Hey,
Like,
emotional when
I
it comes to
fully-
Danielle.
Walked, asked me a month before the games, if I was going to win the games, and I would have told you yes. But asked me the days leading up, no.
oh, yeah. Look at that. So that's
Oh, okay. I've seen this page.
so that's the old one. That's just prior to the games. 2 people in the poll
Yeah.
picked you to win the games.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's crazy
That's
cool. Gray Ghost $5. Fuck yeah, Danielle Brandon Energy. DBE. Danielle, what changed? I got to go back to the documentary thing. Don't forget Sevi, but what changed? What changed that you went from, dude, I'm gonna put the hammer down out there to
Yeah.
where's my hammer?
As like every athlete goes through the weekend, there's a lot of different circumstances that kind of you have to come together as an athlete on this one weekend. Essentially everything has to be just right, physically, mentally. And unfortunately, I just wasn't in a place where I think physically I was necessarily as capable as I was, 3 weeks before the games. It just
Is there something specific that you're not like, is it like, hey, I hurt my big toe or my back hurt or I'm pregnant?
It's so silly. I think I almost hate saying it out loud because sometimes it can feel as like an excuse, but I think it's more just like unfortunate timing and circumstances. I had like a messed up tooth and then like infection in my mouth, and I had to take like a week off. And
Were you on antibiotics?
yeah,
Oh,
it was like
Oh.
it's just like I hate thinking about it because it's so stupid. And
Well,
yeah, I don't know. And
I
like,
don't hear it as an excuse. I'm asking, and you're
Yeah.
painting the picture for us, and I appreciate you sharing it. Antibiotics suck when you're competing at that high level, especially if they're.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
guessing
just
you took a
like
lot.
Yeah, it was I think it's just because I don't really know exactly what it was, so it's hard to like pinpoint it on that. But like you ask like Matt or anybody who was near me in training, like 3 weeks before the games, like I was on like this amazing trajectory, like the things I was doing in training were amazing, and and then I kind of got to the games, and yeah, I was on antibiotics for like over a week and had to take that week off, and just kind of got to the games and felt like the first couple of days, kind of how you feel when you take like 2 weeks off. Just like unfortunate timing. But like I don't walk away from the weekend with any less confidence that I can win the game. So
Does any of the pressure get to you? The notoriety and the eyeballs and the like. Do you ever get anxiety? Like you pull up to the venue and you have to get out of the car, and you. Does any of that get to you?
not that, but I think it only maybe it seems like it gets to me or whatever because I put that pressure on myself. Now, if I wasn't putting that pressure on myself and other people were, sure, it'd be like these people getting to me. But because I put that pressure on myself of having the same expectations that other people do, I take responsibility for feeling any of that pressure. Because
I don't mean that pressure to win. I mean just the straight fame pressure. Like you pull up, you get out of the car, and it's like, you have 60 feet to go from getting out of the car, cross that cement, then another 30 feet to get into the athlete area before, and you're going to interact with a shitload of people. And I saw you be gracious with everyone. You don't walk with your head down. You make eye contact, but I see you the whole way. It's 2 steps picture, 2 steps picture, 2 steps picture. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I wonder like if she starts getting like anxious.
You know, it's a choice that I'm willing to make to do those things. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anxious is the right word.
Okay. You're not
Like-
tripping. You're not like embarrassed or
Yeah.
high strung by it or feel energy getting taken from you. It's not like that.
No, I mean, if I do feel energy taken from me, it's like, that's on me. And like, that's my fault because
Damn, you're good.
I will only allow so much of that. You know, and like, I'll know it. I'll be like, okay, like, but I thrive on people's energy. Like, that's how I get my energy is because of people around me. Like, I've always been like that.
I could see that because you were great with it. I never saw, and I mean, you're exceedingly cool to everyone.
Wow, thank you. But yeah, I mean, the only time that it does really take away from me is like if I allow it, or, you know, I mean, like people are going to be people and they're going to take it too far sometimes. And I'm like, but I'm just like, damn, like that person could chill a little bit.
Like, Torres, get him.
I don't know.
When you were doing when I didn't see the weightlifting event because I was inside waiting for people to come in and I was interviewing people, and I started hearing rumblings of people. Oh shit, Danielle Brandon's on the floor crying. Were tears coming out of your face on the floor?
I was struggling on the floor. Yeah.
Like water was coming out of your face.
Probably a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you do that, is it so let me go a little further. So then you come off the floor, and all the other times that you've come off the floor, you're surrounded by cameras.
Yeah.
And you come out and no one is fucking getting close to you.
Yeah.
Except little old me. I ran you walked over to the stairs. I'm like, okay, Sevy. And I run over there and you're by yourself, and I see the documentary crew and everyone's like, oh fuck. Like no one wants a piece of that.
Yeah.
And you bent over and I think you were fiddling with your shoes. I think you were loosening your shoes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably my lifters.
And I hadn't seen your face yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Sevy, you got to fucking break the ice. And I think I said to you, how the fuck was that? And you froze for like just a half a second, and you looked over and there's this smile in your eyes. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say you were mad at me, but it was a little bit of a forced smile.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, I'm justifying it like, okay, she might be pissed at me now, but she's not going to be pissed at me afterwards in the behind the scenes when she sees this. And then I start walking with you, and as I'm walking with you, you're walking towards Matt Torres, and I see him going.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Like, dude, waving me off. Oh, you'll see the footage of it. And I was just like,
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Can you share with me the and just in Matt's defense too, Matt looked terrified too. Like, oh shit, like he's about to have to fight one-on-one with a cheetah. Like a wild cat. But he stepped into it, and then you guys walked off down the hallway. What's that conversation like? What do you guys
You know, I guess I'll just walk you through the events. Maybe you have some more understanding.
Yeah.
Typically on like weightlifting events, we've learned I work really well with Dom. So Dom took me through warm up. We went through kind of a similar warm up and that we went through at semis, because Dom kind of coached me through the snatch at semis, and it went really well. And we did the same thing at the games. This time we're having to warm up for snatch and clean and jerk. Everything's like, feeling as good as it can at that point. I think that was the first time like I kind of like felt a little more normal, and I was like, dang, like I do kind of have like a little more energy than I've been having. And I was like really confident in my weightlifting, because that's something we've worked on a lot this year. Typically I'm a really consistent snatcher. Clean and jerks, we've been doing a ton. Like before, I'd hit like a 220, I hit like a 230. Like it wasn't anything of you kind of on a weightlifting event, what you're going to do, like typically. And so we're warming up for snatches. It's going great. And then we kind of switch to clean and jerks, and I'm like warming up and I'm like, dang, like my pull is like really great. But then we kind of get to like 175 and I kind of just like fall back, and I'm like, oh, like I just caught it kind of like weird, and then I do another one and like my legs just like didn't work. I kind of just like dumped it forward, and I'm like, I was just like, whoa, like that was weird. Like, I don't know. My legs just feel off. And I think I like tried again, and I like literally just like couldn't, I don't know, like my legs didn't hurt. They just like weren't working. And so then I started freaking out. Like, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Dom didn't know what was going on. So we're kind of like, what do we do? And then, you know, they're calling us out, and we're like, okay, well, we're like, we have to get something on the board. Like, we have to do something. So I was like, okay, like power, like we just have to. So I powered like 185 in the back, or 185, 195. And I'm like, well, whatever. And then they're calling us out, and I'm like, all right, get through the snatch and then get to the clean, open up with 195. And then for some reason, I have Cooper yelling at me to go to like 215. And I was like, I was like, at this point, I'm like, whatever. Like, that's an aggressive jump, but if someone's telling me to do that, I'll do it. Failed, you know, kind of knowingly, like that was just wasn't going to happen that day. And then, you know, it was really tough to be on the floor when I didn't know what was going on. And I don't want to, like, you know, that's like such a fun event where you're literally watching all of your competitors go through and everybody's cheering for them, you know, and it's like the super happy, like everybody's hitting PRs, like, and I'm just like, damn, I'm not having fun out here. Like, I don't care that my competitors are doing well right now. Like, I don't care. You know, I think a lot of people look at it as like, oh, what a poor sport. You're like, she's not watching. And I'm like, you think like any competitor wants to watch their competitor do good? Like, no. So I was just like, honestly like just struggling, and I was laying out there, and I'm like, damn, like what is going on? This is really hard. Walked off. Just like had, like, there was just nothing more to it. Like, I just didn't do what I thought I was supposed to do. And
How long does it take for that to get behind you?
Honestly, like in a situation like that where like mentally I was showing up, like, you know, even with 215, like when I walked up to the bar, like I was like, there's potential I could just randomly, like, I'm like, I've hit this before, you know, I've hit this in training, like I hit this all the time, like I could do it. And then it just didn't happen. Like, it's tough when I mentally showed up and just like physically was not there. So it was like very easy to kind of walk away and be like, well, we just don't know what happened. Like,
and it was the worst finish of the day for
crazy.
you, 26th.
Yeah.
Do you think that fueled your Sunday? Because your Sunday, you had like your best day of the games.
Yeah.
Was you just like pissed off attitude or nothing to lose?
I think it was like a nothing to lose. You know, I think the first event on Sunday was the log one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was tough because Sunday also, if you look at those events, like the muscle up one, the traverse one, and I mean, maybe not necessarily the final, but you would look at those events and you're like, oh, like these aren't terrible events on paper for Danielle Brandon. Like, but yeah, like, I mean, Sunday, like I definitely physically finally like felt better. Like, I don't know what was going on with my body, but I finally like, you know, had a little more in me and like wasn't just like suffering right away. And then, yeah, like I literally had that like a nothing to lose. Like, I remember doing the muscle ups and I was like, I'm just going to go out here and like just do CrossFit, like the way I know how to do CrossFit. And I think even that was the one event where we didn't hammer down like strategy as much because of the position I was in, that it was like, let's just get you to like somehow do a workout and like just like survive. And that was the one workout I walk away where I'm like, dang, like I definitely like had a little more if I had been in this position of like fighting, like, I don't know, like fighting for every little thing in that workout. Like, not to say I didn't, but I think I left like a little bit out there as far as like my best strategy.
And you took in that one you took what would you take, 7th?
I think 7th.
Yeah.
Like there was a little bit where after I finished, I was like, oh, like if we had maybe, you know, been in a headspace or a little bit different approach with this workout, like, you know, I think I could have done like a little bit better. Like the way I approached the muscle ups, I kind of like figured it out mid workout. but I was still like really like I was like essentially happy with that one. And then, the traverse one, I was like, honestly, like I'm just gonna try to do what I know how to do. And
From heat 1.
yeah, and like went for it. Even in that workout, I finally felt that fire of like, fuck it, like just go for it. Like you're feeling good. Let's do it. I think I got so caught up in the workout that I forgot that I had to like change the rope. And I was like, what am I doing? Kind of got lost in it. And then, yeah, the final, I think that's probably one I'm most proud of because of how I was feeling physically. Everybody's feeling some way, but I just didn't feel like myself. And that's one you would look at and probably not think I would maybe get a top 10 on. And I like really fought for that one. So,
Hey, were you glad when it was over? Was there a sense of relief?
No, honestly, I like wasn't super glad it was over because I did end on a great day. And I was like, dang, like I finally feel like I'm doing what I'm capable of. Not that I was like physically ready for more, but like I was just like mentally like, dang, like that didn't go nearly how I planned it.
In that rad video that came out a few days ago, they do say in that scene, and you reiterated it here, that you were with Dom and Torres went with Emma during the lift. What happens if you would have wanted Torres and she would have wanted Dom? Or what if both of you want the same guy? Does that ever happen where it's like you guys are both in the same heat and you guys both want the same coach?
Yes and no. I think we kind of came up with a strategy after semis of what would work best because there was a little bit of that where, you have 5 athletes trying to qualify for the games and, you have some really like, podium potential and like top 10 potential athletes within that group. So it can be, really hard to balance that when, I want to be as selfish as possible, but I'm also kind of just as a person trying to be aware of the other people around me who also have the same coach. So it can be definitely hard as an athlete to be selfish in that way. So we realized like we needed a plan after semis to be like, okay, like this coaches will always get like this athlete will always have this coach's priority. This athlete will have this person. So we kind of
there is a plan for that.
Yeah, we like solidified that before the games.
So that there's no waste of energy or tension around it at game day.
Because we did waste a little bit of that at semis. But we figured it out.
And good to hear. Andy Schneider, if training at altitude will increase your stamina by 10%, let's just say any percent, for 3 days, why wouldn't everyone train at altitude for 2 or 3 months before the games?
That's a good point. I was talking to somebody today about how I think Chandler and somebody else trains at altitude. No.
Chase, John?
It's a lot of resources. Cyclists do that. But I don't.
Is the Brute Camp moving to 10,000 feet? Boulder, the mountains?
No.
Who has won the CrossFit Games from Utah?
Yeah.
Those teams did pretty good.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking. If we look at the individuals, none of them are.
Why is Salt Lake City at a mile high?
Australia. She's below sea level. Okay, like I don't think it's doing that much.
Yes, I don't know. Chandler had like such a good year.
Yeah, he did have a good year.
He did.
Really good, right?
Jeff Gassick, Danielle Brandon. You, Brute, and the Rad Crew is awesome. I love your fucking fight. Tell us more of what you were told after that quote. Have big lit, give us a hello. Good job, Sevi and team. What's this? Tell us more what you were told after that quote.
Oh.
What quote?
I
the
think
ESPN thing.
Yeah. The ESPN, how I swore on ESPN.
Oh. What did you say even? You're like,
did they get onto you?
I saw Dave come and yell at the I saw Dave talk to you. I think I got a little bit of that on film, but then I saw him talk to the next heats.
Yeah.
He just what did you say? You're just like, fuck yeah, or I'm glad I fucking won that, or
no, I was just like, I'm ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, and Like, I mean, I didn't know. Maybe this is just like really stupid of me and naive. I just didn't realize you couldn't swear on like ESPN.
Maybe this is stupid or naive of me, but I didn't know Dave was such a pussy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like it's just funny to me. You know, a lot of my like friends after were like, if they should have told anyone not to swear on TV, it should have been you. And they knew what event was coming. Like they knew it was a handstand one. But it was, yeah, it was. I mean, if I had known, like, I totally would have respected that and not sworn.
I put money on it.
Oh, you did?
That event or me swearing.
Money on an event win and you to say fuck on national television.
Oh, wow. That's good, Chase. You're good.
Oh, that is so.
And you did. I'm like, there it is.
Oh, you knew it. See, like, if you know it, you know, I feel like they should have a little bit. That is too good.
Hey, how could they not know it when you have Instagram posts like this? This is Danielle Brandon montage with the great Conor McGregor
really
speaking in the background.
I've lost my mind on this game, yeah. Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. But fuck it. And that gold belt is around my waist. And my mother has a big mansion. My girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week. And my kids have everything they ever want. Then it will pay. Then I'm happy I lost my mind.
Did you make this?
No, Jermaine did
Oh, but you make a lot of your stuff.
some of it, but
Sounded like Connor had like cotton balls in his mouth.
Oh, he's Irish.
No, it's different. I know one of those.
Hey,
Pedro doesn't sound like that, Sevan. That's all I say.
No matter how much we try to make him.
How was that with Dave? Was it tense, or is he cool, or is he a dick, or how is that when he?
I thought it was totally, you know, he was frustrated, so maybe he came at me with a little bit of frustration, but it was like I wasn't concerned. I wasn't butthurt by it. It was more just like, oh man, like, you know, I just wish I would have known a little bit and like wouldn't have done it. Yeah, now I know you can't swear on ESPN. You know?
Unless you're a fighter or a rapper, you can.
I think it's gonna be funny next year.
But I think like ESPN gets fined, right? I think someone said that like they get fined.
They send the bill to Torres.
No. Or to Dave, apparently.
Hey, you didn't color your hair this year for the games?
I didn't, no.
Any thought in that? Any reason?
I just thought, you know, I could be blonde for a season.
Yeah, cool. All right. We accept you, Bond. Hey, in that rad video, why is Marconi around so much? He's a HWPO guy, but you're Brute and it's a rad event. Why is he around so much in those videos?
In the last video you showed me?
Yeah, like he's in the kitchen cooking and stuff.
Yeah, he's really great friends. You know, we're great friends, and he's good friends with Cooper as well.
So you guys just commingle, the camps commingle.
Oh yeah, like that. I think one of the nights, like Jason came over, Jason O'Keefe, and everyone came over to the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
Wow, I didn't think that should happen. Hey, what was it like filming with? Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Good job, Caleb. Wow, that is the exact clip that I saw. That I'm like, what the fuck is that guy doing there?
Yeah.
Okay, so friend
and
of the family.
You know, the body work. At a time like this, like our body worker is also working on Amanda. You know, Bethany, a couple other athletes.
Barnhart.
Yeah.
That rad shoot, is that the first time when you guys went to the Speedway? Is that the first time you've hung out with Laura Horvat?
No. I think I did a shoot with her another time as well.
What's she like? She seems really fun and lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean she's serious. She's a big business gal. She's there for business.
So she was very serious. She wasn't. I was being sarcastic. She wasn't lighthearted and fun.
No, she wasn't not those things, but I mean, we were also there. Like it was very hot. You know, she showed up. I think she got a little lost on the way. We're like in these jumpsuits, like it's really hot, and so we're just trying to, get pictures, get stuff done.
Did you bond? Did you get her phone number?
I didn't. We didn't get to bond.
Okay.
Sometimes I comment on her stuff on Instagram though.
And
And
does she?
get sometimes like a heart or just a scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever get a caddy on there with her?
No.
No. Okay. All love.
Oh yeah. I mean, like if you have respect for any competitor, it's Laura.
And tell me, why is that?
She's just like a savage. Like she's literally just that, a savage.
Yeah, you like to kill
It's
her.
like,
She
you
is a
respect it.
savage. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do know.
Really?
Oh
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying?
You have
Hey.
no idea.
I really do know. I called her the other day.
I saw a little bit of that clip, but I didn't see it entirely.
And she basically said, "Hey, who is this?" I said, "Sevan." She said, "Oh, if I would have known it was you, I wouldn't have picked up." I was like,
Love
"Damn."
Exactly.
When do you get back to the drawing board? You said you've been you guys have already. It sounds like you guys have already talked about tinkering with your training. When do you guys get back to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think next week we'll definitely start a little bit of something. So, yeah.
Mr. Young, do you see anything? What did you think of Danielle's performance at the games this year?
I mean, it's very consistent, which she's known to be pretty consistent. I would say that she's probably used to her 20ths being more like 15ths.
Yeah.
And that would be the difference. And if you take the weightlifting event and what she can put up, you can give her 50 more points on that. And that'd be around a 5th or 4th place. And I think that's where she's accustomed to finishing. So taking all those, like what she said, she was on antibiotics before. She wasn't feeling good. Sunday was her best day. She had nothing to lose. I think you take all those into consideration, and her 9th place is like with her best potential is really a 4th place with perfect execution.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I think.
A lot of people have said, "Hey, Danielle Brandon's she's got to get her emotions under control. She's too emotional. She's out there just leaking energy all over the place. She's
leaking energy.
It's fucking her shit up." Is that true, Chase? Did we just see? You think that there's a Danielle Brandon emotion issue, that she better get that shit under control?
I mean,
or is it all good?
I think the double-edged sword of feeding off the energy of others is that when it's positive, it's great. And when it's negative, it can be bad. We've seen the same thing with Noah. We've seen the same thing with Sarah. That being said, they also used to tell, Rich to stop playing sports during the CrossFit game season because, you could injure yourself. But like, he's just a competitive dude, and that's what made him him. And I think this emotion that Danielle feeds off of is part of that realm of it's her superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Yet can still be her own supervillain at the same time. So I would say maybe curb 20% of the negative feeling. And that's kind of that percentage that John is talking about. And that comes with experience, and that comes with competition, tenure. And I think, we're 3 or 4 years into that now on the big stage, and you do get better. This is an off year, and you could see that in the first day of competition. And then the next 2 days, it was probably 2 days of frustration because of day one. Yeah. And then on the 4th day, we were just kind of like, all right, fuck it, we're going for it. And then you were back to your old self again. So yeah, I chalk it up to one of those.
Bernie Gannon, Danielle Brandon energy needs to lean into her energy, not repress it. It's called DBE. Danielle, what do you think? Do you think you're pretty emotional out there, that you have more highs and lows than you need to throughout the week, and that it hurts you? Or do you think that it's good and it helps you? Or is it just a mischaracterization? I'm open to it being a mischaracterization of you in totality.
I mean, always, like, I think people see a lot more on the outside than what's really going on. So it's easy to be like, oh, like, she's just frustrated at this and now it's affecting this. But also what people don't see is that, like, as I am, like, sometimes like frustrated on the field, like I'm still working and I'm not like letting that take away from my work. But also, like, I will say this year, as many things that were really out of my control, probably the most of any year, physically, like old me, like mentally would not have kept showing up. And like, I can most confidently say that like every workout I mentally showed up for myself and just unfortunately like physically could not be there. Like it was just like a, you know, kind of a shitty situation. In the past, like, you know, say like the COVID year where like there was a ton of things that were out of my control. But mentally I did not show up for every workout. Like I absolutely did not. And I did not do everything in my control. You know, I skipped warm-ups. Like I stopped wanting to eat. Like, you know, I stopped a lot of those things that I could still control. While this year, like, of course I was going to be more emotional, as I'm already a much more emotional person and ride those waves a little bit too much, but I still controlled everything I did. Like I was still getting body work. I still warmed up every workout. Like, you know, people don't see a lot of those things. So I think this year, if you saw anything on the floor, it was more just like frustration, but it wasn't like in the past, like just like totally throwing everything out the window, giving up. It was just like, clearly I was just like, there's not much I can do. And it's just like shitty, but I mentally like still showed up with what I had. Like, and those are tough things to just see from the outside.
And had you not, I mean, you probably would have been at risk with not even making the last cut. Because I know it was like 18th or 17th or something like that going into Sunday. And then you ended up top 10. So, so like,
yeah. Whereas like in the past, like I know myself, I would have been like, what is, you know, and I did have those moments. I'm like, what the fuck am I even fighting for? Like I came into this weekend wanting to fight for a podium spot. And right now I'm fighting for 10th. Like that's shitty. Like I was like, this fucking sucks. Like that's lame. Like, I'm like, this is not it. Like, this is not what I want to be doing. But like, damn, am I really going to walk away with this feeling better about a 9th place or like an 18th place? Like, no matter what, like, what am I going to feel better about? And knowing I can walk away, knowing I wasn't a little bitch and gave up, like, that sucks more. Like,
you like that, Caleb? I saw Caleb's eyes lit up when you said that. He loved that.
Yeah. I mean, like, seriously, like, easily. And, like, I will say, like, COVID year, there was fucking moments where I was like, I don't want to warm up. And I didn't warm up. And you can see that. I think I got almost dead last on that Echo bike snatch workout where I straight up was like, I'm not warming up for this event. I don't care.
So you used to be kind of a little bratty and you kind of got that brat under control. You got that brat under control a little bit.
Absolutely. And like,
lot.
you know, like it just came back to like, okay, Danielle, like stop letting the emotion talk. Like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I would let the emotion talk and do everything and make all my choices for me. And not to say I'm perfect now, but like,
how did that happen?
Really good people telling
How did that happen? Do you have a coach? Do you have a coach for that, or a mental coach for that, or it's just you're getting more mature and more self-reflective? Or
I think it's both. I mean, both. It's like realizing like what my goals are and what I actually want. You know, I think in the years past, like I've never wanted to win. Like I truly never have. Like I think you see a lot of people out there saying, you know, I come to the games with the one goal and winning. And like, I never showed up to the games with the one goal of winning. Like I truly showed up with the goal of doing the best I can. And if that puts me at the top, great. But now I'm in a position where I'm like, dang, like I do have all the capabilities to do this. Like I do want to, like, I'm like, I do want to win. Like, you know, this year, maybe I showed up like 90% of wanting to do that. And then like, unfortunately, this weekend, like, what seems like a major setback, like I still walk away with like, no, I still can't do this. Like this weekend was just fucking shitty, like terrible circumstances and timing, but like, it just, I don't know. It's just like, it's.
Do you think that could help you? Like coming into this weekend or that weekend in the headspace you were in the physical space and seeing how you countered towards the end of the weekend, you think going through that could help you, even if you say you came into the same situation next year?
Yeah.
You think you'd actually be better than you would because you went through this?
Absolutely. Like, no doubt. Like, I didn't know that I could fight. You know, I've always had like the physical capabilities to like fight through workouts, to like really suffer. Like, everybody can suffer. But like, I did not know I could fight like that and like keep mentally showing up for myself. Like, that is what I've realized can be really hard, is to keep mentally showing up for yourself when like it's still not working, like it's still not enough. Like it's hard. Like, you know, I was like, damn, like I really showed up for myself, and all these people are telling me that if I'm just there mentally, like it'll be there. And I'm like, no, actually I was there mentally, like physically, it was not there this weekend. Like it just wasn't like,
Right.
but I'm not letting that take away from like, I easily could be like, oh, I just physically don't have it. And like, that would be so stupid of me to like, look at like what I have been doing and like my training throughout the year. And like, it would be stupid of me to like, be like, oh, I just physically don't have it. Like I mentally showed up, I just don't have it. I think anybody would tell me that's just stupid. So it is like so good that I went through this weekend, because I think there's like, one, I know there's so many things that can change. And it just made me so much better. And the fact that I can walk away with it, not with less confidence, but more confidence, like that's not something that, for myself, I take lightly, because I typically have not had the most confidence when it comes to my capabilities.
John Young using a different tone. John Young dancing. John Young folded. John Young restrained. He's scared. Jesus, guys. He's fucking right there, dude. What do you want him to say? Jesus Christ, you guys are dickheads. But I wouldn't expect anything else. Let's take a quick poll here before Danielle runs. Did she run off to the bathroom? The show is almost over, Danielle. You don't got to go pee now. It's almost over. Where's Ben Smith? He's supposed to be here 6 minutes ago. The fuck is Ben? Ben's pulling DB. You think he's watching the show and that's why he didn't come on? Like he's waiting for us to kick her off? Ben, where the fuck are you? I'll see you pop up in the little window below, and then I just kick Danielle off. Danielle peed, huh?
Oh, no, that Froning intro with your Khalifa podcast was awesome.
God,
right when he was about to show his
That-
medal,
that was
like, he like wrote
so
back so fast.
Khalifa's a good dude. He called me today. He's like, he wanted to pay me back. He's like, hey, did you go pee?
No, I had to get my charger.
Oh, hey. Oh, nice. Hey, I want to ask you a question here real quick. We're all hanging out. Let's say hypothetically, you know, me, you, Matt Torres, Laura Horvat, you know, Matt O'Keefe, Jake Marconi, whoever, your friends, you know. What's your dog's name?
Cash.
And me and you are in the kitchen. You open up the refrigerator and you pull out a jar of pickles, and you can't open it. It's tight.
Yeah.
And you look across the room, and me and Laura are right there. Wad Zombie wants to know if would fuck. I didn't even get to ask you a fucking question.
Absolutely. I want the pickle now. I want it fast. I don't want it in 5 minutes.
You don't want me to put it between my legs and put both hands on it and ask for like a towel and like I start hitting the edge with the knife? You don't want
hit the bottom of it with the palm of your hand.
You don't want to watch me do all that?
No, I want to eat a pickle, not
Laura,
watch someone try to open a jar.
Laura, okay. Sloppy Slop Sevi, if you had to smell one person's toe spacers and you had to pick between Daniel, Brandon, Rich, and Greg Glassman, who would you choose and why? You don't get why, but I would choose Rich. And you do not get a why. That'd be $55.99. John Young is jacked. All right. Hey, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me hang out with you all weekend. You were crazy gracious to me with the camera. Your whole team was awesome. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you again. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks for letting me ramble.
Dude, you weren't even rambling. You were going off. It was good shit. It was good. It was really good. I'm not just saying that.
Thank you.
Okay. We brought someone on who's not quite as good as you afterwards to make you look good. So don't worry.
Ooh, who is it?
Ben Smith.
Oh, there he is.
Legend. Are
What's
you
up, guys?
kidding me? Okay. Now
Thank you,
I
dear.
need to leave. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Danielle.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danielle Brandon. Woo, Ben Smith. What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Thanks for doing this, buddy.
What'd I miss?
We're just
Yvonne wants to smell Rich Froning's toe spacers.
that is a total mischaracterization of, not that I want to. Ben,
Yes.
CrossFit Games champ.
And
Two-
coach champ of a coach of a champ.
Mm-hmm.
2000 What, 15?
You talking about me? Yeah.
Yeah.
2015 for me.
And your first games was when?
2009
At the ranch.
at the ranch. Yeah, the third one they had at the ranch.
What place did you take?
Oh, I'd have to go 60 something behind Pat Sherwood.
No shit.
Yeah,
Does he remind you of that every time he sees you?
he should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
what
were
a-
the same regional together. It was pretty cool.
Hey,
He was-
why aren't you why has it been so long since you've done your podcast?
We just been busy training, busy. We got our my wife and I have our second baby due
Oh,
next month, so just been busy at the gym. I got a long list of things to catch up on since the games are over. So
Are you guys going to keep doing them?
we'll see. I don't know. I'd like to, but kind of run out of stuff to talk about.
No,
You guys,
no,
what
no.
do you do? You're on all the time. You're talking to someone all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Ben, you have plenty to talk about and people want to hear it. Keep doing it, dude. I went over there today and I'm like, oh shit, it's been a long time, right?
It's been a while. Yeah. We really just have been training a lot with the team. The team was down. Laura and Gabby were here. Christoph was here. We had a few of the guys, the European guys, come by and stop by for a few weeks on their way to the games, and it was just kind of like training camp for a few months. So it's pretty busy. Didn't have a lot of time for it.
What kind of people are attracted to Krypton as a place to come train and prep for the games, semifinals, open? What type of people?
I mean, we've never turned anybody down, so whoever asked, kind of open to whoever wants to come.
Is it a motley crew? Is it a quirky crew? I think of it. I mean, I see Danny Spiegel. I see your brother. I see Laura Horvat. There's more too, right? You got Adam Klink there. It seems like it's just this really eclectic group.
Sure.
Is
that what you think? What's your perspective
of people? I do. That's what I think. I think it's just this crazy eclectic group of kind of like misfits or outsiders or renegades, or it's like the fucking A-team. You got like a Murdoch and you got like a Hannibal. You got the Mr. T and you got the Face Man. Do you remember that show, the A-team?
I remember. I never watched it, but yeah, I remember the name.
No, it's a little before your time.
It might have been before me.
I'll send you the DVDs. It's good.
All right.
So I just want, like I'm trying to figure out. So can you tell me your origin story with Laura Horvat? How your guys' path crossed?
Yeah, I'm just on because you can't have Laura on, right?
No, I couldn't have Laura on. I couldn't have Klink on.
Close as he can
get. You're after Klink too, Ben.
Oh, he's running that race this weekend.
I know, crazy, right?
Yeah, he's crazy. He's going after it again. I hope we can finish. Yeah, no, we met. We did team series. I think it was 2018 or 2019. Alec had invited her to the gym, and I think she wanted to do team series, and I didn't want to or something. And we ended up partnered up and doing team series. And a couple years later,
she was friends with Alec. He brought her to Krypton, and then you guys hit it. You ended up being on the team with her.
Alec's the social one, he's the social butterfly. He brings everybody to the gym.
Keeps the business running.
Yeah.
Takes care of the brand.
For sure. So we did team series together, and that was the first time we had met. And then I think I saw her there was some qualifier for the games. I think it was the COVID year, where she didn't do well in a workout, and I don't think she made it to the next stage or whatever. And I reached out to her and just said, if there's anything I can do to help, love to work together. I mean,
so you liked her, you dug her, and you saw potential.
You see, you for sure. She was first year. She finished second place, and you're like, where did this girl come from? What's she doing? And she came by the gym. She just crushed me in the team series that year. I'm like, yeah, she's got what it takes to win. Like, you see it right away. And and then I was like, anything I can do to help. And we ended up training together. And I say we're more like training partners. More than like a coach or whatever. It's just been good, and just kind of gone from there.
We'll come back to Laura. I was outside the stadium, and I started hearing rumblings that Ben Smith had hurt himself. And I then saw you come out of the North Park underneath the bleachers, and you were sitting in a car, and I came over to you, and you looked like you were in pretty bad shape. Can you tell us what happened there?
I was an idiot and tried to re-rack a jerk or something like that. Nobody does that. I re-racked a jerk, and my knee popped. I don't know what happened. It's,
A failed jerk? A failed jerk, you mean?
failed jerk. So
Okay.
I tried to catch it, left arm buckled, and then I tried to re-catch it for some reason, like thinking that I'm going to hit the lift after I just missed the lift, because they only give you a 20-second window, and knee popped, kind of locked up on me. It felt like when you roll your ankle, like it just immediately starts swelling. And I felt it right away, and I knew something was up. It kind of worried me a little bit. So, yeah, that was about it. But they were able to get me back there and check it out. And personally, if it was me, I'd have called it. I'd have been out. There's no way I would have wanted to go try to compete the rest of the weekend. But
What was the diagnosis?
So they were able to they did x-rays and I was good. Nothing, like they were afraid there was like a, patellar, there could be like a fracture or something there. And then they were able to do ultrasound and they could see like a tear in my patellar tendon underneath my kneecap. It was just like one specific spot. They were able to pinpoint it and check it out and see it. So that was actually pretty cool. They could do that. But yeah, so partially torn patellar tendon, I guess.
Painful when it happened?
Yeah, it was painful. It kind of just locked up on me, and then I couldn't really put much weight on it for a little bit. But kind of limping, couldn't really walk well. Hard to bend it, and then it hurt bad when I was trying to run that 5K after that.
And you're saying that if this would have been an individual comp, you would have pulled yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. There was no point in kind of suffering through the rest of the weekend, but. The team wanted to keep going, and they were up for like, hey, if you need to slow down, fine. We just kind of want to move on. We're able to make the cuts. We want to keep competing. We trained together for this. Like, we're all here for this. Let's try to keep doing what we can do. And yeah, just didn't want to let the team down. It's different being a team, man.
Dude, if I'm on your team though, if I knew that, I'm struggling to. This is after that happened.
Yeah. The next event was a 5K run. I was worried.
And what happened during that 5K run? Were you able to do it?
Yeah. Hobbled through it. Oh, I had to squat on one leg. Yeah.
Dang.
My left leg was so sore after that weekend.
How is it now? How are you now?
It feels okay. It feels all right. It's like any hard weight bearing on that side. I can't run or jump on it. But like if I don't have pain when I'm walking, I don't have pain like all the time. So it's definitely healed. I haven't done anything since the games. This is the longest I've not worked out since I got married, and we went on a honeymoon for a week, and I didn't work out at all. That was the last time I had not worked out a week in the last 15 years of doing CrossFit.
You're not doing nothing? You're not doing some grippers, some pull-ups, nothing?
Nothing, just coaching. Did a little bit of coaching. So
what's the plan? Will that thing just heal by itself?
Yeah, I was told like 12 weeks, 12 to 18 weeks, something like that. I've never had to sit out that long. So I don't know. We'll see. Work back into it, do some physical therapy and see if I can get it, get it rehab so I can start working out again at the gym, because I miss the community. I miss the, putting on a training session and training with friends,
Was that weird when I gave you a bar?
When you gave me a bar? No.
That wasn't weird?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh shit, they're going to take this guy away and he's not going to be able to eat for a long time.
I appreciate it. It was very kind of you.
Oh, okay, good. Because you looked at me like I handed you the bar and I was like, this is kind of weird. Well, they're driving him away in a car and I run him down. I think I run you down. It was an afterthought. And I had a Quest bar in my bag and I hand it to you and you're like,
hey, I appreciate it. I
right,
appreciate
cool.
it. Thank you.
Did you eat it?
No, I didn't.
Oh. What happened to it?
Threw it away.
I don't know. I think I left it back there with some stuff in the diagnosis area or wherever it was.
Okay, good. That stuff's horrible for you. It's like eating plastic. It seems to be a big topic of conversation this year about when someone's injured, whose determination it is that they stay in or get pulled out. Like, should it be up to the doctors or should it be up to the athletes? Did you run into any of that? Like, we heard a lot about that. During semifinals, there was like Corone and someone else, I can't remember. And then
like the minimum work requirement argument.
I think that is part of it also. But also like with like, hey, is Roman too injured to do anything? Are we putting him in jeopardy of making things worse? Is it our responsibility or his responsibility? Like, did they try to pull you out and you're like, no, I'm staying in?
He was the doctor that was helping me out. He was worried. He I mean, he mentioned it a few times, but I feel like it should be up to the athlete, shouldn't it?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't have a really strong opinion on it. I just know, just in fighting, if you could say certain things, like I think in a fight, if you say, I can't see out of this eye, they stop the fight right then and there.
Okay.
So I don't know what
it's a little different.
Well, yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Chase. Wait, jump in. I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure.
if you're in fighting, right?
Yeah.
If you can't see out of your right eye, then you
Yeah.
can't block a punch that could potentially cause serious injury to you, because you're fighting a person and you cannot control their actions of what they do to you. If you're an athlete on the field of play and you can decide and dictate your own movements and intensity, right?
Oh, right.
That's a good point.
You make the choice there.
You mean it's not like football where someone else can make your shit, where in CrossFit you're totally
Right.
in control.
Right.
You're
Exactly.
choosing to hurt yourself.
Yeah. You can run
Yeah,
slow on a 5K versus, like, I don't know, you have to outrun this lion in this cage tunnel. It's like, now you're really going to hurt yourself to try not to get caught. So I think when you're in a position like this, and I'm looking at it from an athlete's perspective, as like, I want to make my own call. Right. And if you look at the history of the games, there's not one single decision I think ever made by CrossFit of pulling an athlete that went over well with anybody.
It's curious that after Corona, it took such a hard switch. I feel like at the games, it was literally, I mean, you can break your leg, and if you still want to do it, you can. Because that's literally what happened. And like Corona was like, I'm good, man. I just don't want to do a ring muscle up. And then they were like, nope. It was such a hard
less injury
switch.
and more of this spirit of competition continue to work rule. Which,
How do you mean?
well, they didn't disqualify him for medically. They disqualified him because he didn't meet the effort rule.
He tried to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just saying that the rule that they leaned on wasn't a medical withdrawal.
Oh, it wasn't? What was the rule? What was the rule?
It was the rule where you have to like continuously put forth a reasonable amount of effort.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Which is I'm okay with that rule too. I'm okay with whatever they choose, as long
I'm not okay with that rule.
You're not okay with that rule that you have to put in. No, because it's too subjective.
Yeah, just black and white.
I
Hey,
agree.
if you want to take event 7 off, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I
podium or win or qualify.
I guess I
for
see your
the
point too.
games.
I don't have a problem with what Raw did, Pat Barber did, or Catron did. I don't have a problem with that. Do you remember
Right.
the Raw didn't do the snatch in the
Catherine won
semifinal
the games because
regionals?
of it.
What?
She won the games because of it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a problem with any of that strategy, Ben? That it's like, okay, hey, I'm fucking not like. Remember that year it was a double workout and Pat Barber just didn't do one of them really?
Triple
I mean,
workout.
yeah, that's strategy, right? There were
Yeah.
3 of them. Yeah, there were 3 of them back to back to back, and yeah, my youngest brother Dane did that one time in Dubai.
Oh yeah.
Did it work out? Did it work out?
Yeah,
for
they
him?
were like back to back workouts, and they pay people $3,000 for a win, so he just didn't do the first one and then smashed the second one.
Did he win it?
Yeah,
Yeah, bitching.
worth it.
Hey, any chance you'd go to Wadapalooza?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, chance for sure.
No,
See
but
if
I
I
mean
can-
to compete.
To compete, I mean, I don't know. We tried to do team last year. I don't even remember last year. Yeah, we tried to do team last year. Sure.
But it would be 16. 16. If you take 12 to 16 weeks off now, that won't give you much time.
Yeah, no. So it'd be. I'm just taking time off right now. I'm not really thinking about training. Not thinking about competing. I haven't put any thought towards what's next, other than kind of what's in front of me right now, which I've never done before. So
Coaching and a baby.
coaching, baby. Yeah, gonna work with the local. There's a team down the street here, baseball team. Gonna work with the local high school team for a little bit, train them for the off season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Define
And-
down the street, because Caleb's definition of down the street is 45 minutes away.
45 seconds down the street.
There you go.
Yeah.
Caleb's like, I haven't been to Krypton yet. I live so close. We're like,
Right
how
down the
close?
street.
He's like 40
Yeah,
minutes.
apparently Caleb is also down the street from you.
I'm so close, dude. I'm like
Come
literally.
on by. Come on by.
I'm across the bridge from you. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really close.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
And Rogue's totally out of the question. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
When is
No,
Rogue?
I no.
October.
I can't. I can't do that.
And you can't even go there even if just to watch as like a former games athlete and sign autographs because you got a baby coming. I mean, you're home.
Yeah, I'll be here for a little while.
You're grounded.
Yeah.
You know if you got a boy or a girl?
We don't know.
You know
Oh, good for
What do you have
yeah.
already?
We have a little girl. She
Yeah.
just turned 4.
She's 4?
I know.
Dude.
Yeah.
I
Goes
thought
so
she was
quick,
like
man.
2.
Are you liking the parenting thing?
Loving it. It's
Yeah,
the best.
it's cool.
Loving
Good.
it. Yeah.
You got
So
grandparents?
much fun. It's just gotten better and better, you know. You just get to see all the different phases, and now it's like, you know, now I get to explain everything, and she's asking more questions and interactive. She's so much fun. I love it. I love it.
And are your parents nearby?
They are. Yeah, we're all pretty close. Everyone, my brothers are here. The gym's right down the street. We're all within, you know, we're all actually close, right down the street.
Yeah, that's a good life. You know, I asked your brother at the games. I said, "Hey, does it concern you when you see your brother hurt?" Because I have 3 boys, and if one of them gets hurt, the other 2 get very, very tense.
Yeah.
He
Well,
said
because did they do it?
No. Like if let's say like we were at a jiu-jitsu tournament, one of the boys got arm barred and like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
elbow hyperextended his elbow, and the other 2 like come over to him and start crying and holding him.
Oh,
And I
yeah?
asked your brother, I'm like, "Are you tripping that your brother's hurt?" He's like, "Nah." I'm like, "But it's your older brother." He's like, "Nah."
Yeah, I don't know. I worry about them. So yeah.
You do worry about them?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That makes me
I
feel
watched
better.
Dane, my youngest brother, play baseball, and he tore his shoulders up, you know, running the bases, and had to watch that. That was hard. But yeah, no, I worry about them for sure.
How
I
do you
get that,
tear?
I guess.
How do you tear your shoulders up running the bases?
Dislocated shoulders from diving head first.
Ooh,
Madman. When you're a madman on the bases like that, you can mess yourself up pretty good.
Is that Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks.
Dane is the full send Smith.
Full send. Full send.
Ben,
Always
Ben,
has been.
Ben, do you have an agent?
No.
No. Did you ever have an agent? When you after you won the games in 2016, did you feel some sort of
15.
But you won the games in 2015, and then the following year in 2016, did you feel some sort of pressure that you didn't feel the year before?
No,
No.
I didn't.
How was
No, I
that
thought I did.
possible?
I thought I was actually much happier with 2016 when I thought I actually did better. I was I don't know, maybe I'm weird. I've always one of the athletes that I do want to win, right? I went to competitions to win, but you know you can only compete at the level at which you train. So it's like I train myself to be the best version of myself, and I know that if I go out there on the game day, I'm healthy, I can compete, I have the right mindset. You know, I ended up winning that year. Like, you know, you can do it. And then the next year I just was more consistent. That was all. All the events were more consistent. You can look at my finishes. I thought they were better. You know, but ended up finishing second instead of first. And, you know, the outcome is what it is, and all you can control is the effort that you put in. So I was pretty happy with that. Otherwise you drive yourself crazy. I mean, this sport's brutal. You're training harder than, I would argue you're training harder than any other sport on the planet.
100%.
I would argue. I mean, the physical part of it and the mental part of it, and how you just prepare for that one competition a year. That's kind of, you throw all your chips in that one competition. I don't see anything harder than it. I don't know. It might be I'd love to hear other people's opinions. Everybody says, like, you know, MMA might be harder, or, you know, like a triathlon training or something like that, but it's just so different. It's different.
Not triathlon trading.
Yeah. I don't know. What else might be harder? You guys tell me.
You know, it's interesting. Hey, I watched
The Tour de France is the single most hardest thing to go through.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
one
Cycling,
thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
But training, just the training year round, I would agree 100%. Like, just, this is my profession. This is what I do.
And
I don't think go ahead.
Yeah, no, if it's like, you can really hyper focus on it, and it becomes this thing where it's just not healthy. And I really think that athletes have to have something else that they do. They have to have hobbies. They have to have a job. They have to have family, something. Like, you got to have something outside of the gym, outside of
CrossFit
CrossFit.
Games specific athletes, you mean, or just all athletes?
CrossFit Games specific athletes.
Do you think
Otherwise,
that goes
it's like,
more
you
for
make it your job. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think that goes more for the top of the spear, or just all the way down the chain?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get near the top, you realize what you have to sacrifice to get to the top, to get a little bit higher. And you know, it's a hard, you don't really balance. You can't balance it that well. Like you have to, it's almost like you have to have other things that you're doing. It's hard mentally. It's difficult. Yeah. I mean, athletes get it, but I don't know who else gets it.
Meaning, we were talking about this, I can't remember, a few shows back, meaning each year you do the games, shit starts getting a little weirder and weirder. Like eventually you're like only drinking out of glass, and if under no circumstance do you stay up past 8 o'clock, and you no longer drink anything with cans that have BPA in them. I mean, you're just fucking doing everything to wrench down and get micro, right? Like you're anything, right? You change your toothpaste 12 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where like one side of the spectrum can completely be, right? You can go that whole route. But there's an argument, like I would make the argument, like, I don't know how much of that's super helpful. You know, like there's a buffer, there's a window in there where you should sit, where it's all right, I'm a little bit more sane in this place. And that's kind of where I've always tried to be my whole career.
What
How
is
do you
it
think
like
Laura
diminishing?
manages?
What's that?
How do you think Laura manages? Because she never seems down, really. Like she always seems.
That's what I
somewhat
think her
happy.
strength. That's where I think her strength is. So that's what I think.
Is mental.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's pretty. I see a lot of athletes do a lot of this back there.
Mm-hmm.
I do not see her do that. I see her like this.
She has fun.
Yeah, and you know, same with Colton. Colton Mertens was one of the most fucking emotionally disciplined athletes. When I first met him, I thought that's just the way he is. He's just quirky, and something's like maybe he's just that part of his brain doesn't exist. But no, that fucking thing exists, and he works on it to keep that thing in.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
check.
I think you get there training. You get there through your training, your preparation. All that's really important, and it matters. And you just get in the right headspace, and you get in the right flow with the months leading up to the competition, and it just carries right over. And it's not as hard. It's not as difficult.
Did you know that I called Laura? Did I tell you that?
I saw it.
Oh, you did see it.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why you did that. Okay. You don't need to replay it though.
Don't need to?
No, you really don't need to replay it.
Okay. Now tell me, just between me and you, give me some advices. You think that was pretty? You think that was a step backward in our relationship?
Yeah.
I feel like it was a step forward, but I'm totally open to misreading her. I'm totally.
You ever seen the movie Meet the Parents?
With Robert De Niro a long time ago.
When he's talking about his like circle of trust, and you're outside the circle of trust.
Oh, I don't remember that, but go on. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It was funny. That's what I thought of when I thought of that.
Yeah, part of me is like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Not going to be good.
On a 1 to 10, 1 it was a bad idea, 5 it was a wash, and 10 it was fucking brilliant. Like she probably is gonna send me flowers for my birthday. Where do you think it was? You think 5? You think it's a wash, or you think it was?
No, it's down there.
It's below a 5. It went down.
It's below 5. Yeah. It didn't help your cause.
Is there anything he can do to help his cause?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Hey, you know what's crazy is like, I just don't believe you. I cannot accept that.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Okay, good.
You don't have to.
Should call her again, just to be sure.
God, I can't accept it. When does the Krypton 2024 games camp begin? Like, when should people start showing up? And where do you live, Virginia?
Yeah,
when should people start showing up at Caleb's house so that they can start training at Krypton?
Yeah, right down the street. I know the girls are coming back for train a little bit for Rogue, or as far as I know. That's about all I know.
The girls meaning her and Gabby.
Yeah.
And is Clink in your hood too?
No, he's in Texas. So he moved down to Texas a few years ago. He works for BPN. Does a lot of running, got really skinny comparatively to how he was. But now he's running that 100-mile race at Leadville. So he did it last year, and then this is his second year going for it.
Is he your friend?
Yeah.
I mean, like you'd call him and be like, dude, did you see that?
we talk all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was head coach of the gym at Krypton for 8 years. So yeah, good dude. We love all those guys.
He does look skinny now.
What are you talking about? He looks huge to me.
Oh, you didn't. I mean, go back and watch him, man. Like
Yeah, look at that.
that's Adam Klink that I know. That guy.
That was when he ran the 5-minute mile and did the 500-pound back squat in the same day.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Sevan, I know she hates you. Dude, you're crazy. In the interview, you ask about boyfriend. When she was on the show? Okay. Yeah, so what? She was breaking up with some CF guy in Hungary. She didn't hate me for that. She likes me for it. I was counseling her. Will you put in a good word for me, Ben?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like maybe something like hey, it's just lost in translation. It's just American culture to cold call people halfway across the world on their podcast. God, that was a douche move. All right, I'm fucked. All right, I accept it. It was a douche move. I was feeling so cocky, like fuck you. You can't blow me. And then as soon as she answered, I crumbled.
It's all right. You'll have another shot, I'm sure.
Okay. Is she gonna win the games next year?
She could. I don't see why not. She still wants it, so like she wants to do it more than once. I know that. That's about all I know.
Those what do you think about do you have any thoughts on Tia coming back after the baby?
No, that'd be crazy. But don't put it past her at all.
And it would make for a great it would be great for the fans to watch sort of those two go head to head, right?
Yeah, it'd be that'd be cool.
All right. Gentlemen, do you want to say anything to the wounded and healing CrossFit Games champ?
Man, good luck with number 2 on the way.
Yeah, thanks. I
Good
know.
for you.
That's what we're focused on. So looking forward to it.
Man defense.
I know, right?
Mr. Young, any final words, parting words from Mr. Smith?
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure, guys.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, dude. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Talk to you soon. Thanks for your time.
All right. See you guys.
Ciao.
There you go.
Yep.
Ben Smith, CrossFit Games champ.
He's starting to look like his dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought he was starting to look more and more like that, like the Mr. Smith from, wasn't that the guy's name from, what's the movie with all the green things that fall from the sky? The Matrix.
Oh.
Neo?
Matrix?
Yeah. And then with that light over his head, he looked like a Jew. He looked like he was wearing a yarmulke the whole time. I'm like, is he Jewish? But I was
He
like,
always looks like that.
Oh, it was that light. There was that light over his head. Okay. Before I lose you guys, I need to get you guys' opinion on some things. How are you on time, Mr. Chase and Mr. John?
I gotta ask my wife downstairs.
Okay, good. Don't ask her. I want to go through the Coffee Pods and Wads video, and I want you guys to chime in on a couple things. Adrian said he didn't. A couple things to catch you up to speed on. Adrian said he didn't take Dave's job, but he was talking about what he started doing when Dave left. But he did take Dave's job, part of it at least, because Dave used to program the games, right? And then Dave left, and Adrian became programming the games, and now Dave is back. And that's kind of like what I think that people are gently trying to figure out what's going on there. Adrian was incredible on this video, by the way. Extremely articulate, extremely vulnerable, extremely open. Gets along great with Pedro. Pedro was great. I mean, it was fantastic. But the whole interview besides that gave me tons of answers. But that one, I was kind of scratching my head. I was like, no, Adrian, you did take his job, and now he's back. So maybe I'll get a chance to talk to Adrian about that. He said that they're very close friends, which we've all witnessed. They are friends, and that they work great together. He said he was excited about having Dave back. It sounds like Dave coming back energized the team. He did say this about the CrossFit Games. He said Dave came back with only 5 weeks until showtime. And then Dave wanted to make some changes because Dave gave some input. And he said that was the biggest challenge of Dave coming back, that they only had 5 weeks to make those changes. At 32 minutes, Pedro asks how much change happened because of Dave's input. Let's listen to what Adrian says there at 32 minutes. I hope Pedro, it's okay for me to play Pedro's shit.
It's how, we're like,
Exactly.
we already kind of and I answered these questions, right?
Yeah.
Whereas that way, it was able to be collaborative. It was like, okay, we're all on site. This is the plan. We can look at the plan together, and then we can choose what we're going to test and change right now.
Was changed, like,
We can take it from there. So yeah, it was good.
how much was changed? Like, so obviously things change. There'd be predictable changes, I guess, when you're doing your testing. If it was, say, the same team that had been there from whatever, the Open or before it, how much change happened because of, say, Dave's fresh eye, or like an experienced eye of like, well, we actually tried that. Remember, we tried that in such and such a year, and this happened, or something like that.
Hey, that pause. So that's a strong question, right? That's something like everyone. That's like all the games geeks want to know. With Dave back, Pedro's gently asking in there, how much change occurred with Dave? And here we go. Here's Adrian's answer.
I think it was, there were some other externalities that dictated a few things that we were doing this year. Just realities around what we wanted to accomplish with the games, and what the company was wanting to support and things like that. So all that to say, I think it was about the normal amount. Like once we got on site and started actually testing, like the process was similar to how it's been in the past.
Okay. I'm not buying that. I think Dave used to do the programming and Adrian gave the feedback. I think this year Adrian did the programming and Dave gave the feedback. And the two things that he said was the changes helped us accomplish what we wanted to accomplish, but there were also some externalities, and that's what the company would support. And that's the rumblings we've heard of, just saving some money, not burning through cash. Any opinions on Chase on that answer? Anything you want to talk about?
I mean, when he explains it like that, coupled with, the sentiment that you just made out, is like, okay, maybe there was an offsite plan that got cut because of money.
Or single camera used instead of a full camera setup, like for the Masters.
Or that, right?
Right.
And
I'm not hating on that either. I'm not like, it's their event. Do what you got to do.
Sure. And that to me, that's what it sounds like, coupled with the idea that there was some budget constraints coming into the games because of what happened earlier in the season. And that makes the most sense. So if there was an offsite planned and was taken away, that would effectively be a very big change with Dave coming in with 5 weeks to go. So that could be one of those things that he's talking about.
Why can he not just say that?
That's a good question. It's not. It doesn't seem like a wrong. Maybe he doesn't. It doesn't seem like a wrong political response. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable saying it because it's not his place to say. That's the only thing I could think of. But it doesn't make anyone look bad if they were like, hey, there was.
Our budget can't handle this, so we had to scrap this.
Well, that's also, the budget thing is also an assumption.
Right.
But if that's what we're thinking, I just feel like he gave.
There's something he's hiding.
Answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is what you're saying, John. Why doesn't he just tell us? Why doesn't he just tell us? Well, let me ask you guys this: do you guys see the games the same way I did? That last year Adrian came in and changed the events that Dave did, and this year, right, because Dave got fired, and this year Dave came in and changed the events Adrian made. It's funny, I never thought of it like that. But Adrian programmed the fucking games this year. He programmed the Open, the semifinals, and the games. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone fucking loved the programming. I think it's quarterfinals. Yeah, all that stuff. Thank you. And then Dave obviously came in here at the end and changed some shit. Is that fair? Is that? I don't think that there's anything.
I would agree with that sentiment.
Okay, is that how you see it too, Chase?
Yeah, and I don't think that's a negative thing too.
Not at all. I think it's a positive.
I'm under the impression. I have the opinion that Dave and Boz are better together than they are separate. Including Dave by himself and Boz by himself. They are the best when they are working together. And whatever capacity that is.
Yeah.
They're a great pair.
Yeah. And they're friends and they do work very
16 years.
Yeah. And they do work very well together and they're very close. Yeah. I'm not trying to stir up anything. I'm just trying to get clarity. Okay. Another question at 33 minutes. Did ESPN affect the events? Another good question. Meaning, does TV change like the time domains, where they can be, etc.?
You mentioned external things there, like when it was known that the games will be shown on ESPN. Does that change things? Like, are you like, okay, well, we can't have something that can, like confusing for people outside of CrossFit, but fine for CrossFit people to watch. We have to have something straightforward or something easy to digest. Like, does that kind of come into it as well?
Yeah, it's sort of. And so it's really about finding the balance. On the one hand, you don't want to be, straying from what we are. And at the end of the day, I think Helen is a great example, right? Like, if you're not excited to watch people race doing a mixed mode event like that, well, then maybe CrossFit's not for you. It's like, I don't go to a hockey game and say, man, this would be better with a football, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, like, am I a fan of this thing or not? And then we, by extension, have to ask ourselves, like, are we comfortable promoting this thing or not? And, the answer is yes, of course we are. However, to your point, man, that does have to be tempered with, all right, if we're going to bring in a lay audience, does it make sense to have the most kind of colloquial movements that we can, or kind of the most kind of, difficult to uptake scoring system or something like that? And the answer is no. It's probably not in anybody's best interest at that point to do that during those windows. So yeah, there's a lot of back and forth to, just make sure that everybody agrees what we want to be showing in those windows, that both highlights the athletes, is true to what the sport is, and then also, allows people that are just watching for the first time to say, oh, I get what's going on here.
Mm.
And
let me throw this in there. For sure, what's affected is you hope that they're going to show the best heats, the people who best represent the sport, the part that adds to the narrative the best, the events that are the most exciting, right? So just based on that, but I don't think that's what Pedro was asking. I think Pedro was asking, like, does it affect the time domains and the modalities and whatnot? How do you take it, Chase? And what did you think of Adrian's answer?
It was a quality answer from Boz.
High quality or low quality? High quality or low quality?
It's a good straight down the middle.
Okay.
Don't say too much or too little answer. And the question is important because, okay, yes, it's like, so during the ESPN show, so I'll just speak from experience. So during the ESPN shows, they would basically go on TV for a 2-hour block. And during that 2-hour block, the whole final event had to take place. That's men and women. And during the ESPN shows,
40 athletes.
40 athletes, right? And then 30 and 20, but as the weekend on, but the whole event, right? So say
by 40, I meant 20 and 20. 20 men, 20 women. They have 2 hours.
Right, but on Thursday, it's 40 men and 40 women. Okay. So on Thursday, you have to get through 4 heats of 10 because it was the inverted medley or melody, if you're Andrew Hiller. And you have to get through 3 heats, and then they would show the final heat of men or women live. And then they'd go back to a recap show during ESPN and then show the final heat live. So you had to not only nail down how long that final heat would be, but how to get this pre-show recap done in time for the live call of the actual event going on. And then they would disappear again if you're just watching regular ESPN and then come back in. And so the Thursday test couldn't be a 15-minute test because then that would have been taken 2 hours to get through the women only and men only, and they had to get all done. So it did change which events you could put on which days because of the number of people competing and the type of event you had and the amount of airtime the final heat of each event would get.
So it's either a mass start or a very sprinty event.
But even then, like, we were only on live on the call for 10 minutes.
Right.
What does that mean, live on the call? What does that mean?
So,
live on the
a live look into the competition going on as it was going on. So for the first 3 heats of 4, it was the desk show and the recap of the early day events. And then for the final heat, they would be like, all right, down to the call. They would show the live final heat, and then they'd back off for the next men or women. 3 heats go. They're recapping, and they'd live feed back into the Coliseum.
They'd only do the live in the last heat,
right,
every single event.
Pedro doesn't let up. If you go to 35-45, he wants more than a quality answer. Here we go. Here now the rumors start.
I I heard a rumor that double under crossovers were supposed to be in one of the workouts, and heavy doubles came up instead. Is that true?
I mean, it's a half truth. That was that final pull event. I think. I'm trying to think the other one. Maybe the inverted medley. Those were the two that probably had the most testing variations, and so there were like a bunch of different iterations. So I don't think it's fair to say it was supposed to be anything. We experimented with a bunch of different versions of it, and ultimately that's the one we landed on.
Well, there we go. So people were asking what kind of changes there were. I think there's one.
They're both on the table.
They're both on the table. Yeah. Okay.
They're both
Okay.
on the table.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I can tell you which one Boz wanted.
Tell me, John, which one did Boz want?
He wanted those double under crossovers.
And what it sounds like there is that there was a change made there. And you can get more. What?
They picked one.
They picked the one that they wanted.
Yeah, good. Yeah, they picked.
They were both on the table, and they picked.
Okay, fair enough. They
flipped a coin.
You think Dave and Boz flipped a coin on that?
For sure, flipped a coin.
I would love it if that's how they program the games. Like they have the base events, and then they're like, Dave wants this, Boz wants this. They just flip a coin every single time to see what happens. what it ends on.
No paper rock.
Yeah.
I think that when Boz started programming the games, there was a part of him that looked out fucking 10 years, and that he was going to do baby steps. Maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And there was going to be an evolution to this. I believe he had a plan. And I believe that I do find it weird that there weren't double over crossovers this year. I think I'm very curious if we'll ever see them again. If we do see them again, I would be pleasantly, I'll leave it at surprised. But I am very curious. It's a fun little piece of the narrative for me. Go ahead, Chase. Were you going to say something?
I'll just say, just keep practicing them.
Okay, good. All right, that's fair. 42-15. Here's a little more insight into changes or how things are programmed. This is in relationship to the worm.
Equipment.
I think you got to ask Dave.
Go back a little bit more. Sorry.
That's understandable to the viewer. And just trying to get to the best of it through those.
Where did the earthworm come from? Because that might be my favorite piece of like just horrible equipment.
I think you got to ask Dave and Bill Henniger. That's a collaboration between them.
That is very interesting. So that means 5 weeks out, Dave and Bill come up with this fucking thing that, by the way, was brilliant. Go back and watch that team footage, watching the team. I mean, I know we're not supposed to want to see them get thrashed, but it was awesome watching people get slammed.
Hey, they weren't made of wood. They're just fine.
They looked horrible. But fantastic interview. I want to thank Pedro from Coffee Pods and Wads and Adrian Bosman. Fantastic interview. Go over there. Worth your time. John Young, you think Laura Horvat comes back and wins the second year?
I think she has as good of a shot as anybody.
Chase, you think Laura Horvat comes back and wins the second year?
I think it's going to be fun to watch her. And if Tia comes back, that may be the most hyped, exciting head-to-head we've had in a very long time.
Were there any retirements this year? Did anyone retire? Did we get any word from anyone, like a long-time person, like an Annie?
Oh, gosh. No, other than the ones that were announced basically beforehand, at least on the men's side. I don't know about the women.
Noah and is Chandler?
I think they're both.
Yeah, what is Chandler going to do? There's the question.
They're both going team. They said they were going team.
Is he? No matter what?
Him and Noah.
Even though you finished 7th at the CrossFit Games and were on a podium position at one point?
He'd tell Noah, hey, I'm better than you now, so I'm just going to go team.
No, I don't think
go individual. No,
I think Chandler would. He would do what he told.
What about mix-up in camps? I heard a ton of rumors. Nothing that I can say here because it is just straight, just fucking gossip. But I'm hearing some,
which you'll never do on this show.
Never. I'm hearing some wild shit. Are you guys hearing anything? For starters,
I'm the worst person to ask when it comes to CrossFit gossip, and it drives my wife crazy. I basically have to just repeat what comes in the text messages.
Oh, okay. I'll send some. I'll send some right after the show.
I tried to get her on the show. She wouldn't do it.
Basically, the big camps being HWPO, Proven, Misfits, Mayhem, Training Think Tank, Invictus. What seems to be turning into a training camp now, CrossFit Fort Vancouver. They got Trista Ellie, Medeiros, and I think they got a young boy over there now too. Any movements you guys are hearing? Brute. Sorry, I apologize. And I know I'm forgetting others. Any big switch? What'd you say?
Underdogs.
Oh, sorry. Damn, Justin. Have you guys heard anything? Any crazy changes?
I saw Haley was on an Invictus podcast recently.
I saw that too. And it sounds like she's training at It sounds like she's training at Mayhem. When Rich was on, I asked him, "Have you seen Haley?" And he said, "Yeah, she's back. She's back."
I've seen a few videos of her at Mayhem again.
Man,
she's there too.
She sounds good, by the way. That's a side of Haley Adams I've never seen on that with Bryce
Mitchell.
Smith. Mitchell's the fighter. Bryce Mitchell's the fighter.
Oh, right.
There's one big name that will not be at the current camp that they are at.
Big name.
Mm-hmm.
And are they going to another camp?
Mm-hmm.
And are they moving north or south?
They're coming to John Young Barbell. They're going to John Young Barbell. Whoever it is.
Hey, okay. Because Mayhem's in the middle, right? HWPO is north and Brute is south, right? Training Tink Tank, Training Tinkle Tank.
They all have athletes all over America, though. Like all three of those camps have athletes that don't train directly at their base camp.
The move you're talking. Those camps. Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian did say this also on the podcast that there were half as many appeals this year as last year. That's huge. That's a testament to the programming and to the judges, right?
Yes.
Or the athletes were terrified.
I don't think that's ever been a problem with the athletes.
No, I don't think so either. God, I wish you guys could go to. If you ever get a chance to go to the athlete briefings, you have to go because half the athletes are like asking the dumbest questions ever in the minds of the other half of athletes. So half the athletes are hating the other half of athletes who are asking the questions, and it's wild. It's just like being a little kid in school, and it's like the teacher's like saying some shit about Andrew Jackson. The kid's like, did he have a dog? What was his dog's name? And you just like want to fucking go to recess. You're like, you motherfucker.
Gosh, those things are the worst. Yeah, but the best too.
Okay. I wanted to take you to this clip here. This is especially important for you, Chase, to see Ricky's Instagram account. I didn't know if you knew. There's been an official change. If you go to the profile, Ricky Mack.
You know, if Caleb was,
you don't
ready,
follow him back, Sevan?
You should be playing Return of the Mac.
Oh, that would
you
be
want
incredible.
us to get a ding?
7 seconds, bro.
I follow him. That's Caleb's. I fucking follow the shit out of Ricky Garrett.
That's the podcast account. So
Ricky
Caleb
Mack.
doesn't like Ricky. That's right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see that come up today.
Man. Sevan, do I ask dumb questions? No.
Can you explain the Ricky Mack thing?
No, you ask great questions. That's his middle name.
Oh.
I go, hey, dude, what's your middle name? And he goes, Mac. And I'm like, what? How?
That's
the
great.
best part is it's actually MAC. That's the best
great.
part of the whole.
I thought Sevan called him like Ricky Mac Daddy or something, and he just really liked it.
No, it's crazy. Oh, is this it? Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Fucking Ricky Garrett didn't show up at the game. Fucking. You have a middle name?
Yeah, Mac.
Mac. Fucking Mac.
Fucking Mac.
Mac. Really? M-A-C-K? That's your middle name?
M-A-C.
Ricky Mack?
Ricky Mac, yeah.
Wow, dude.
Dude.
Wow. How the fuck do you not use that? Your dad loves you.
That's crazy.
Wow.
How should I use it?
Just
Just
fucking
Ricky
Ricky
Mac.
Mac. That's your
Dude.
fucking name,
Yeah.
Ricky Mac.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that
People,
is
heaps of
pimp,
people call
dude.
me that actually.
They do? People do?
Yeah.
I'ma
Heaps of
start-
my friends and
Oh.
some people I train with.
Hey, can look at Ken Walters even knows stud. Yeah, dude. Wow. What a great show. We play our own clips. Okay. Chase,
I thought
don't wanna
that
put-
was his best interview that he's done.
he opened up a little bit.
No, he was great.
I don't want to put you on. Yes, I do want to put you on the spot. When you call Ricky Mac in the future on ESPN next year at the games, will you refer to him as Ricky Mac?
Oh yeah, but I'll wait for the most cheese dick way to bring it in.
Good.
I just did. Yeah.
And Sean Woodland has to go. Return of the Mac, indeed, or however he was.
Yeah, it'll be something like that.
Oh, that's good. Hey, you should say, what are those movies that have Will Ferrell in them and they like drive race cars and stuff?
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, can you make it like that? Don't they have like a Bobby Mac or something, or they all have like two names in there?
Yeah, the Magic Man.
Good.
El Diablo.
That's right.
Any other game stuff you guys want to talk about? Pat Vellner, want to say anything?
On the Rogue now, aren't we?
All
Should we
right,
start hyping that up or no? It's coming.
let's do it. Let's next Friday. Let's hype Rogue up. What's the dates on Rogue? Can we? Do we have a
I think
It's the last weekend of
26th to the
October.
28th.
Oh, it's the last of October. Never mind. We got
see.
a month and a half,
Rogue Invitational?
27th to the 29th of October.
2 months. It's still a ways away. Then I thought it was a lot closer than that.
Dude, it's right around the corner.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
it'll be here fast.
I guess I should figure out how to get there.
It's not
Yeah,
that
you're
far.
close.
Well, no, I mean tickets and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Chase, people will say this thing. We were talking to Danielle about it. Are you recovered from the games? And it's like I just don't have. I come back completely charged and invigorated. I recover on my flight home. What about
Has your
you?
voice recovered?
That was a rough week to come back. Because then I got sick. I got sick,
did?
and then I got
Oh.
okay, and then I got sick again. But for the athletes, it's so physically demanding. And a lot of what Ben Smith was talking about, it's all year just operating right at 90% in the red. Just, okay, get through the open, then quarterfinals and semifinals, and then CrossFit games. You're talking like 6 to 8 months of just hardcore. All this comes down to this weekend. And that's just the physical side, and then the mental, emotional side that comes with it. Like the post games, just like emotional dump, let alone how you physically feel. Like it takes time, and it takes time to want to like crawl back into the furnace again and start training for another event. It's tough, very
How
tough.
about for you? How about for you personally?
I'm like, it's weird to even talk about it because I'm talking about people do all these physical things that I'm saying is going to break them off, and I'm just like speaking words. But
Yeah.
I definitely go quiet for about a good week. Just
Like you used your word count up for the month, so you have to put some in the bank.
that, and it's an emotional weekend for me because I invest so much of my energy and time and passion and love for CrossFit, the sport, the training methodology, the athletes, the people that are there. Like it's like you're on 1,000 miles an hour for 4 to 6 straight days. And when you're off, you're also not off. Right? Like walking from the booth to the new location, like you run into people that you want to, hang out with and talk to. And it's always great to be surrounded by everybody. When it's over, like that, sitting in the airport, I think is the hardest time to be social. It's like, I
agree.
need to
Like you
sit
want
in
to
my
sit in a seat in
corner.
the corner and just hope no one sees you.
It's going to pick this corner, maybe put a blanket over me. Just
And you
wait
run into
till-
everybody.
You run into everybody, especially in Madison. Like it was everybody. So I would say the hardest time to be social is in the airport coming home.
I drove to Chicago, and do you know who was on my plane? because their flight got canceled.
Pedro.
It was well, it's funny you say Pedro. Jay Crouch was on it, who I love, and Maddie Sturt, so that didn't bug me at all. And Dave showed up like 5 minutes before the flight took off. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, dude, all my shit got turned upside down.
Man, it was a mess.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Ken Walters says, love that the Sevan Podcast channel homepage header is Minnesota Vikings colors now versus the Bears. It does?
I think, yeah, technically, yes.
The thumb, Tony Fauci. What about Tony Fauci? He's coming on tomorrow morning. Who is coming on tomorrow morning?
Nobody.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, it is nobody. Sunday. Listen, Sunday. Tyson Bagent.
Nice.
He'll have played 2 preseason games
In the NFL.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. I think that there's a good chance he's going to play again more than he did the first week. I think it's significant.
It's the last week of preseason.
No,
It's
not this weekend, but next weekend. Next weekend he'll play the most.
He'll play more and more each week.
Yeah, and the reports coming out about him are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, here we go. SEMA Globes. Chase sat in the middle of the bar in the middle of the only restaurant, liar. With a sign that held up that said, I'm Chase Ingram.
Headphones and
he wore his, and he had his ESPN shirt on.
Okay, so the only person to track me down was Halpin.
He was awesome.
It was the only table open. I'll vouch for that.
Yeah. Okay, if we're signing off, I just want to say shout out to my wife. We just had our 9-year wedding anniversary.
No kidding.
Congratulations.
Thank
you. Awesome.
She let me come up here and talk to you guys.
Wow, good job.
Today, it was Wednesday, but we're celebrating tomorrow. We're going to be 24 hours kidless, which means we'll probably just sit on the couch and stare at each other for 24 hours and not talk.
Right. What do you think? A 9-year. So you've been married 9 years, or you've known her 9 years?
Married 9 years. We started dating in 2010.
So 14 years.
Yeah.
It's a hell of an achievement, isn't it?
Yes. I heard getting past 7 is the hardest part.
That's like the 7-year itch.
That 7-year, yeah.
Oh wow, I'm at 6.
There's some weird, like, human evolution. Like every 7 years, like something about you just changes forever. It's something weird. But then it's like, okay, can we get to 14? Can we get to 21? Things like that.
Right. I do see my relationship with my wife as kind of the crowning achievement of my of my existence. It's crazy.
Everybody makes fun of me how far I outkicked my coverage, and they're 100% spot on.
That she hasn't kicked you to the curb yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
I mean, you have
Thanks for
kids.
the
You have
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
You're trapped.
I locked it up. We got kids now. And my son just started kindergarten on Tuesday. Oh,
good
big
life,
deal.
dude. And you live in the same neighborhood as a Thornton, so life must be pretty good.
Life is great. Life is great.
Oh, shit. Tommy Payne. I was married for 25, then it went south. Oh, don't tell me that.
Damn.
Mad Marv. We just had our 20th. Dude. Mad Marv, I just started following you on Instagram. Would you get married when you were 4? Dude, you still ride up for like scooters and shit. Motorcycle, those little tiny motorcycle scooters. There's no way you've been married for 20 years. Wow. Oh my God, look at this. Ken Walters, 36 years.
That's awesome.
Oh shit, it's been touch and go every year after 15.
Just reconvene on the anniversary. Like, you want to run it back? Just sign up for another one.
Shit.
All right. Thanks, guys. Will, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mr. John Young from John Young Barbell, Chase Ingram from Texas, Caleb from Behind the Computer. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Good night.